Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Tuesday morning's Mind the Moment mindfulness session brought to you by Harvard Pilgrim Healthcare. And this is the place that we invite mindfulness instructors to speak with us about what mindfulness means to them, excuse me, and discuss as a community how we can incorporate these practices into our daily lives. So we're so happy to have you here with us this morning. I'm Suzanne Rowe Palacino, and I am very happy to be here every Thursday with my friend Tara Healey, founder and director of Harvard Pilgrim's Mindfulness Program. Good morning, Tara.
Good morning, Suzanne. Good morning, everyone. So I'd actually like to go ahead and get started right into a practice this morning, and then that'll give us a little bit more time at the end. If people, of course, want to hop off after the practice, that's fine. But if not, we'll stay after the practice and do Q&A and kind of check in with each other. But let's go ahead and get started. So this morning, I'm going to do a practice that some of you may be familiar with. And I kind of think of it, if anybody has ever done a practice called loving kindness practice or metta practice, you could sort of think of this as its first cousin. It's different, but there are some similarities. And, one of the reasons that I was thinking about this is, number one, just wanting to introduce the community to different types of practices. Last Tuesday, Paul Fulton did more of an open awareness practice. And I started thinking about, all of the kind of strife and division in the world. And this practice came to mind, and it was one that I learned probably 20 years ago on a meditation retreat. And I found it really profound. And it's a practice that I use regularly, especially when there is division or difficulty with other people. And I actually want to just kind of frame it up and kick it off by paraphrasing the Dalai Lama. And I think of him as sort of, a figure of kindness. So regardless of your religious background or not, that he is someone that generates kindness. And this is, again, I'm going to paraphrase, but he says, especially when I feel myself bristle with irritation or indignation or anger, it helps me to silently note that this irritating, infuriating person is just like me. It doesn't mean that I approve of them or forgive them or even like them. But reminding myself that they are just like me preserves their humanity and preserves my humanity. And so with that kind of as the backdrop for this practice, it's a way that we can feel more connected and less separate. And I want to emphasize that he says that it's not, I don't have to approve of them. I don't even have to like them. This is coming from the Dalai Lama. But we do have a shared humanity, and the desire to preserve their humanity also preserves my humanity, preserves our humanity. And there are people who we will encounter in life and have encountered that are, we feel are different or hard to be with or difficult to understand, may have different beliefs and different values. And so what I want to ask you to do is to bring to the mind's eye, someone in your life that you find mildly challenging. So, you don't want to bring the Proud Boys to mind. You don't want to bring a group of people that are challenging or one person that is deeply, deeply challenging. You just want to bring somebody that maybe at times has you bristle a little bit, that you struggle with. And I first want to kind of settle us into our body, and then we're going to call that person to mind. And I'm going to take you through a series of phrases to help you connect in with that particular person. So let's go ahead and settle into either a seated or a standing posture. And take 2 deep breaths on your own, just as a way to settle in and settle any surface tension. Allow your weight to surrender into the support of the surface. And see if you can bring awareness to the points of contact with the body and the surface. And what are those subtle points of connection? What does that physically feel like? Notice with a wide angle lens of attention now over the whole body, what physical sensations are present from your activity so far this morning? And so that might be things like a pulsing sensation somewhere in your body. Perhaps you notice the beat of the heart, tingling, temperature. Noticing also sound in the area that you're in or outside of the area. Just receiving. Softening the body with a spine that is straight but not stiff. Allowing yourself a posture that is upright and engaged, alert, yet relaxed to the degree that you're able. Softening to the degree that you're able. Noticing the face, the jaw, the eyes. And I want you to bring to mind someone that is mildly challenging for you. So bring to the mind's eye someone that is mildly challenging. As you bring this person into your visual field, notice how you feel physically. Become aware of any thoughts that you are having about this person, about your connection with this person. Holding this person in your visual field and aware of what's happening in the body and also in the mind. Just bringing awareness, you don't have to change it or make it different, improve it in any way, just simple awareness. What is bringing this person to mind, bringing up for you, both mentally and physically. And I'm going to read a series of phrases and have you kind of apply these phrases to this person. So this person has a body and a mind just like me. This person was once a vulnerable child just like me. This person has had joys and sorrows in their life just like me. This person has loved someone just like me. This person has lost someone just like me. This person's heart has been broken just like me. This person has also been sad, disappointed, angry, or hurt, just like me. This person has worries and concerns, just like me. This person has experienced physical and emotional pain, just like me. This person has experienced joy, just like me. This person has had friendships and longed for friendship, just like me. This person has regrets, just like me. This person is aging, just like me. This person is happy, has been happy, wants to be happy, and feel loved, just like me. This person desires to contribute meaningfully in the world, just like me. So taking a moment to just notice, we're letting go of the phrases and just coming back to the whole body as we did before we started. Noticing what physical sensations are present, what thoughts are coming and going. As an observer, as a witness, simply aware and receptive. And we will spend just a couple of minutes on breath meditation as a way to close out this practice. So moving from body awareness, noticing what these phrases may have brought up in you physically, as well as the thoughts, and allowing all of that to remain in the background. So we're not trying to get rid of anything. So just bringing those thoughts and physical sensations are in the background, bringing awareness to the physical sensations of the breath and just noticing where in your body breath sensation is most pronounced. It could be kind of an overall sense of the whole body breathing in and out, or it could be a more narrow focus, noticing in the abdomen or the chest. We'll just do this for a couple of minutes. As the mind wanders, gently escort the attention back to breath sensation wherever you notice it most clearly in your body. And as we bring this practice to a close, may we be peaceful and at ease. May our heart be soft and open. May we be safe and protected, and our body healthy and strong. And may the merit or any benefit at all from this practice this morning be for the benefit of all beings everywhere. And as you feel ready, if your eyes were closed, you can open your eyes and reconnect.
Yeah, thank you, Tara.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a very unique practice. I'm sure that might have been something that folks had not done before. So that's a great introduction to it.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I would love to. This is a practice that can provoke a lot. It's a powerful practice. And again, what I think is important is not starting with somebody too difficult. You're starting with somebody who's mildly difficult, but the recognition of our shared humanity is so valuable, just so valuable. But I would love to hear from others. So, if you have questions, comments, would love to.
So folks are chiming in here.
Yeah.
There was someone that said it was hard, that they didn't spending thought energy on that person. And I'm most irritated with that person because of their habit of stealing time from me, always needing to be in charge and get their way. This approach of this practice didn't quite work.
Yeah.
Maybe will eventually.
Yeah. So, interesting. So, Colleen, so I would say a couple of things. If you've never done this practice, that particular person might have been too hard. And I do try to emphasize that it's important to not pick someone where you have a lot of kind of, and like anything, I think and this might sound a little counterintuitive, but we let go of expectations of what will happen and just see what does happen. And that over time, this is not, as the Dalai Lama said, in the piece that I opened with, that we're really preserving another human's humanity as well as ours, and just reminding ourselves of that shared common humanity. And I would say, like any of the practices that we do, they need time. So it's, even if you pick somebody who's not as hard, it might, it's, I have found it personally to be very, very helpful and valuable.
Yeah, and I feel it's easier to do this practice with, we were talking earlier about driving and, people on the road that might tick you off. And it's easier to say to yourself, okay, well, you don't know what their day is like, or, I like going back to the feeling that everybody's just wants to be happy. And we all just want to be happy.
Yes.
So it's easier to do it with someone that's not as connected as maybe someone that's been in your life for a long time.
Yeah, like a family member or a friend or something like that, where there's a lot of history. It's still, yes, I would say that it can be a little bit easier. I would also recommend that people play around with the phrases, develop your own phrases. And so that, you had there's a lot in there today. Some of them might be, feel like they connect into, others not, but you can find your own. The other thing that I want to say that I think is important about this practice is that when I have difficulty or challenges with another person, I want them to be mentally well and healthy, because it's going to impact how they engage with themselves, but with everybody else. So their mental well-being and it being, on the healthy side is going to benefit everybody around them. So why would I wish anything other than that, you know?
Right. Someone mentioned that as he repeated the phrases, I could feel my body becoming less tense and my attitude moving to feeling more compassionate. And someone also asked about, are the phrases written down somewhere?
Oh, well, I mean, they can be, so I'll tell you, like, some of the, you can create your own. I mean, that's the beauty of this. You can also Google Just Like Me practice. It's been around for decades, but it's not used all the time. In fact, I don't think it's used enough. I think that it has tremendous value, and it helps. It also reminds us that, you know, when somebody is acting funky or difficult and we're struggling with them, is just wondering what might have happened in that person's life to create this, you know, what, and it's not about condoning or accepting bad behavior. So I just, you know, that has to be emphasized.
Yeah, I remember doing this practice on a retreat, and in some ways, with a person that I was having a lot of challenge with, I
Yeah.
went to pity
Oh,
versus, which
yeah,
is can be a little dangerous.
it's very
'Cause
dangerous.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's really not, um, that's not
It's separating, you
yeah,
know, it's separating. And, you know, the thing is, we as human beings are on this planet around our shared humanity. You know, we have a body, we have a mind, we want to contribute meaningfully, we want to love and be loved. I mean, we want to be happy. So even if it's as simple as that, there are very few people that would say, I don't want to be happy. So this person desires joy in their life, just like me.
right. Someone mentioned, it reminds me of the difference between sympathy and empathy.
Yeah, yeah,
Is a really good point.
yeah.
Really good point.
Um, that is a really good point. Like sympathy or pity would be called the near enemy. That the right, like those are not what this is. And to watch if we're doing it, you know, to see if we're doing it.
I also, I think about when one forgives someone, how that forgiveness lightens your body and makes you feel, it lessens the tension in your body. This
Yeah.
could be a similar,
Oh yeah.
where
Yeah.
it's really, if you're holding that tension around this person, it can be very, um, it can be debilitating, versus
Right,
once
right.
you let go and open up to allowing them, just seeing them as a human, and that
Yep.
can that can help you personally, even if you're thinking of that way.
Yes,
Uh,
yes. And I think to, you know, really think of this as a practice, not like a kind of a one-time thing that, and you can do it on the fly. Like if you know you're going to see a person that you struggle with, just say, you know, this person was a child that played and laughed just like me. You know, this person wants to be happy just like me. You know, just it doesn't have to be like always a formal, like sit down and do this. And when I've done it more formally, you're actually looking at another person and offering these phrases. So others, yeah, any, you know, questions or comments or thoughts?
yeah, and I wonder too, how do you, as you sit down with this practice, and how do you not have expectations that from the practice? How
Yeah,
do you not feel like, okay, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to let go of the tension from this person? How do you not expect
yeah,
that, which I,
yeah, yeah. Um, and I think part of it's such an important question, Suzanne, because I think that question could be broader too, you know, like because we are involved with this practice, we have expectations that we're going to feel better and not be so contracted around whether it's people or situations. But over and over and over again, for so many years, the teachers have emphasized so often to let go of expectations and just see what is happening without resistance, with receptivity. So, we can even see, oh, I am holding on to wanting to feel better around this person, but this practice isn't working, or this is not going away, or, and I think just to be with the tension and the tightness, it's not, you don't have to make it go away, but just really see if you can notice contraction or tightness or tension, and with allowance, with receptivity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone asked, could you talk a little bit more about the difference between empathy and sympathy in practice?
Yeah. So empathy is more of feeling with, and sympathy is, I think of sympathy as being kind of, you're distancing yourself from it. Oh, that poor person, or I feel so bad for that person. Whereas with empathy, you're more feeling with, feeling that that too could be you, that this is what this might feel like if it were me, and that I am not immune from what has happened to this person. Um, so, and Brene Brown's Sympathy versus Empathy, that's a really good video too. Yeah, thank you for posting that. I'm also seeing Colleen say that she might have chosen someone, you've done this before, but maybe chose someone that might have been too difficult for you today.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, I feel like we have to, I think that the way we choose our practice, it's interesting, like how do we choose how we're going to sit each day?
Like day to day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's so many options.
There are options. One rule of thumb is really just checking in and see what's needed. If there are times in my life where I've really struggled with a family member, and I might settle in and do some just concentration practice, just breath, settle the mind, and then bring more like loving kindness, or even this practice for myself. Like, don't forget yourself.
Yeah, compassion.
Yeah.
Yeah. It reminds me of an app that I have on my phone that my daughter uses a lot. That's called, I think it's Stop, Think, Breathe.
Oh, yeah.
And you can go in the app and put what emotions you're feeling at that particular time, and it will customize, it'll just give you, okay, well, it looks like you need compassion practice today, or it looks like you might need loving kindness practice today.
Yeah.
So there's little 5 or 7 minute meditations in the app, which is
that's nice. I love this. I sometimes think pity is a more loaded word than sympathy. I would agree. Pity can imply the person being pitied is less than. Yeah, that's that idea of separation. I am separate from that person. And yeah.
Wonderful. Well, this I think is a great way to just give people options, and especially during this time where we could probably use a little bit more empathy for one another. So thank you.
Yes. I mean, that's why I chose this morning. I think just this great divisions in this country, and ways that we can just be together around our shared humanity. We don't have to agree or make anything, someone change or different, but it really helps. It helps us.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Okay.
We've come to the end here, which is always difficult to say, but let's talk about a few other the ways that we can keep in touch. Obviously through our website, Tuesdays and Thursdays. We'll be back on Tuesday with another session to have a couple more opportunities to talk about this different ways to practice. There are yoga sessions and Zumba sessions on our website as well as wellness webinars. So visit our Living Well at Home And also check us out on mindful.org/pain, where we have different practices that can help with dealing with chronic pain, both in English and in Spanish. Visit us on Facebook, where you'll be reminded of all different types of programs that we have available, as well as this session, older sessions, and sessions that Tara has conducted with different research scientists are on our YouTube page on Mind the Moment. So again, Tara, thank you so much.
Yeah, I thank you, everybody. Always good to be with you on Thursday mornings, and look forward to seeing you next week.
Yeah, sounds good. Thank you, everyone, for joining, and we'll see you soon.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye.